Hey guys, Dan here with Battlefield Curator. I am looking for deals on Black Friday. What kind of deals am I looking for? Well, I scoured the webs and I came out with a list of just under 20 things that I am considering. Now, as we all know, a lot of these Black Friday deals might have just been rebranded as a Black Friday deal because, yeah, they might have been on sale before or they might have been discounted before, but I've done some research as to what I might be looking at. So here we go on the list. Number one, the Czech CZ82 in 9x18 Makarov. This all-steel 1980s classic Makarov improvement is well known for being a military surplus pistol that is well suited for being a concealed carry pistol because of its reliability, its mag capacity, 12-round mag capacity, and its size. It was used by Czechoslovakia for the military and police. 9x18 Makarov is a little hard to find, but they do have a 380 version on Classic's website, and that's what I might be looking for if I was looking for something in 380 instead of 9x18 Makarov. In previous years, I've been able to get CZ82s for around $350. Palmetto State Armory has a screaming deal. It's $270. And Classic has them at $300. So yeah, I would definitely consider getting a CZ82 or CZ83 in 380. Number two I'll be looking at is the Chinese Type 54 Tokarev pistol. Now these are pretty much a copy of the original Russian TT-33. The magazine is kind of lackluster, single stacks, 8-round magazine, but the Zastava M57 is number 3 on my list. Now, if I'm going to be looking for some of these, I'm going to be looking for ones with a trigger safety. And the Chinese Type 54 on Palmetto State Armory's website has a trigger safety, and so does the M57 on J&G. Now, 7.62 Tokarev's a little pricey, it's a little hard to find, but I tell you what, these rounds are hot, super hot. So yeah, very powerful cartridge. The M57 I'm looking at 300 on J&G's site, and the Type 54 on PSA's site is $250. Now for the M57, PSA also has a chrome one for, I was seeing it at $370. All right, number 4 on my list here is the Colt Law Enforcement Trade-in Carbine in 5.56 or 2.23. This features a 1-in-7 twist barrel. It's pretty much a civilian version of the M4 carbine. These law enforcement agencies are trading these back in, and I got one earlier this year off of AIM Surplus. Now what I did with this one, because it is a legit Colt, is I kind of transformed it into a M4A1 clone that I would have used during my tours in Iraq. So yeah, it's a little cheaper to get a surplus Colt for 800 bucks instead of something that's a lot more pricier. And a lot of things on that Colt were all surplus. I saved quite a few $100s just going with all surplus stuff. Now number 5 on my list, which is something I picked up earlier this year, actually quite recently within the last month or so, is a Sig P226 in 9mm off of Royal Tiger Imports website. When it comes down to it, the P226 was not only used by a bunch of different military and police around the world, but it's considered one of the greatest Wonder 9s, and it was also used by the elite forces out there like the British SAS and the US Navy SEALs. Now for 500 bucks, I didn't think it was a bad deal at all, especially because these ones that they have are made in Germany. And the condition's actually really good on these, at least the one I got was, as far as I know, they'd show no signs of ever being stored in Ethiopia. That's right, Royal Tiger Imports also gets surplus from other countries, not just Ethiopia. So yeah, Sig P226 definitely wasn't disappointed and had so much fun taking it to the range. All right, number 6 here is Century Arms C3, and I'm looking at this one on PSA's website. These Century Arms C3s are pretty much a Set Me 308 surplus with a new made receiver and barrel and some other US made components that meet the requirements for US regulations. Now back during the Cold War time frame, the Spanish adopted the Set-Me rifle. H&K also made a licensed copy of it called the G3. And the legacy that it has is quite well known around the globe. PSA's got him for a screaming deal at $660, so that's something that I might be looking at, definitely getting for my rifle collection. And another classic here, known as one of the greatest Wonder 9s, and it's out there on the surplus market, is the CZ75. I've got a CZ75 that I got years ago, and they're still out there, and they're still coming into the country as imports. I've seen them on Classic and Atlantic's websites for around 500 bucks, and honestly, when I shoot these at the range, they're so smooth. The slide is a lower profile slide and it sits inside of the frame, so it gives you a little less recoil and lets you manage the pistol a lot better. Not only that, but the CZ75 has inspired plenty of other pistol designs out there. Tang Foglio had made copies of it to sell in the US market back in the day. The IMI Jericho 941 is based off the CZ75. Tons of other clones out there. Now, technically, the CZ75 is an improvement over the Browning High Power. So this pistol actually stems from the original John Browning High Power design, but improved upon by the Czechs. And that's why I think it makes my list. All right, number 8 on my list, something I've never thought about getting before, something I probably didn't even know existed up until maybe a year ago or so, is the Spanish Model 30M. All steel framed, steel slide. The Spanish adopted this 9mm pistol with a 15-round mag capacity in the 1990s, and it served with the Spanish military and police forces up until around the 2000s. As far as I've researched, it seems like a lot of people are quite happy with this pistol. I've seen a lot of the Star Model 30Ms out there right now, and I'm seeing them on Centerfire Systems, J&G, and Classics websites. Honestly, 300 bucks is what they're going for, so this might be one of my next acquisitions here in 2025. All right, number 9 here is the Glock 17 Gen 2. It's one of the earliest plastic fantastic Wonder 9s. The Glock got so much hate back in the day because no one wanted to go to a plastic frame. Said plastic will break real easily. Well, these Gen 2s have been around for decades and they seem to have held on just fine. I got one a couple years ago and it works great. I've shot it plenty of times at the range and it doesn't disappoint. And for around 300 on Classics and Atlantic's website, I don't think it's a bad deal at all, especially for those Glock collector type folks. All right, number 10, we talked about the Sig P226 earlier in 9mm. What about the Sig P228? It's kind of like a shorter version, more compact, but still kind of stout, still has the same aluminum frame and steel slide, so you get the lightweight out of it, but you get a more compact design, maybe a little easier for concealment. So because I got a P226, I might be looking at getting a P228, and right now I'm looking at Atlantic's website, and they got them for 500 bucks. All right, number 11 here, we're looking at the Beretta 1934C. Now, the original Beretta 1934 in 380 ACP was known for its use during World War II. These 1934-C models are post-World War II made, and they are pretty much almost exactly like the originals, except you don't get that World War II history behind them, and the fit and finish might be a little different. Right now, I'm looking at Atlantic, and they got them for 220 bucks. All right, so if you're looking for a revolver in 357 Magnum, what would you be looking for as far as surplus goes? Right now, the M83, Zastava M83 is probably one of the ones that are catching people's attentions. It caught my attention. I was so close to getting one because, hey, they're cheap, and they're in 357 and they look menacing. Recently I saw them on Centerfire Systems for around 270 bucks. It might be in my future to get one. All right, next on my list here is the Swiss K11 in 7.5 caliber. Seeing them on Centerfire Systems websites, $400. You know, these used to be a little bit cheaper back in the day. They're kind of underrated in my opinion because the Swiss rifles like the K31 which I do have, is a tack driver. It's so accurate. It was known for its accuracy. I think the reason why some people just don't want to get these is because they just don't have a lot of history tied to them as far as the world wars go. These saw use in a lot of training. They trained for invasions because they were surrounded by the world wars. They were in the middle of it. And we all know that Swiss made is known as high quality, and these rifles are really high quality. Straight pull, bolt action design. So it's also very unique in that aspect. And they're really smooth and they're really accurate. So I definitely like taking mine out to the range. And the Swiss 1911 seems like it's just getting more expensive as the years go on. So centerfire systems for 400 bucks sounds like a pretty good deal. All right, the next one here, I've done a review on it before. I've got a full-length video on the Pistolet Makarov, or the Makarov pistol as we know it. Right now on Old Western Scrounger's website, I'm looking at the Bulgarian Makarov and 9x18 Makarov. It's essentially a copy of the Russian Makarov pistol. Single stacked, heel release magazine, holds 8 rounds. It's one of the most distinguishable and identifiable Cold War era pistols from the comm block nations. So with Old Western Scrounger having them at 340 bucks, it's definitely something I'll be considering. All right, number 15, another Czech design pistol here on the list. This one's in 32 ACP, the CZ70 or Vizor 70, which means model 70. Now the VZ70 was pretty much the Czech version of the German PPK, but there are some features that the VZ70 has. So we're talking about a button drop release magazine, external safety and decocker, and even a loaded chamber indicator. Now I picked up a Vizor 50 earlier this year from Classic. Turns out that it was upgraded to Vizor 70 specs, so kind of disappointed that, hey, yeah, I got a Vizor 70 when I ordered a Vizor 50, but even though it says Vizor 50 on it, it's still a Vizor 70. Maybe it's more like a Vizor 50/70, because yeah, it's got some Vizor 50 stuff still, but it's pretty much a Vizor 70 with the grips and everything too. But I tell you what, it's a great plinkster to take to the range. I had fun with it, shooting steel. I don't know if I'd really want to carry this. It depends, because some of these are kind of funky. There might be some reliability issues with some of them. And the one that I got doesn't seem to feed 32 Hornady critical defense very well. So definitely would not want to carry this as a carry pistol, but that doesn't mean that there's some Vizor 50s or Vizor 70s out there that might feed hollow points or other types of hollow points. So right now I'm seeing them on centerfire systems for 250 bucks. Classic and J&G got them for 270. Overall, for under 300, a little plinkster, not a bad deal, I think. We're getting close to the end here. Number 16 on my list is the Polish P64. The Polish P64 is essentially a copy or a variant of the Makarov pistol. It's not an exact copy. It has its own kind of look and stoutness to it. It might not be as smooth as a Makarov. It might be a little rough around the edges. I'm seeing these on J&G for 280 bucks. All right, last one here on the list, number 17. This one has been one of the rifles that I have definitely enjoyed shooting a lot. I wouldn't mind getting another one because they're so abundant out there right now, but they're not really sought after. The upside is these are World War I surplus and World War II surplus. Some of these probably saw some use in those wars. They're actually in pretty good condition. They're not from Ethiopia. They're straight out of Italy. We're talking about the Carcano M91 cavalry carbine. These carbines are in 6.5 Carcano. They're pretty accurate. I've taken them out to 100 yards. I harvested a deer with one last year. I'm getting ammo from Steinel Ammo, soft points. The ammo can be a little bit tricky because they have to be particularly the 267 size bullets. If you use the 264 size bullets, which some ammo manufacturers do make them still, you're probably not going to get as accurate of a shot group, but they do work. There's also the sight picture alignment. You have to have the certain type of sight picture. You got to aim a lot lower. I've got a video on that, on how to actually sight it in. But these ones here apparently stayed in Italy post-World War II, and they're just now getting liquidated out of Italy. So these have to be top notch, and I've gotten some really nice ones from their stash out there. So Royal Tiger Imports, I'm seeing these for 250 bucks. All right, guys, well, that's my list for Black Friday. That's what the deals I'll be looking at. I definitely don't think there's a shortage of deals out there. I think you just got to look around. What are you looking at? You know, Palmetto State Armory's got a lot of good deals. I've heard of some other people mentioning some other websites for some of the newer stuff out there. Let me know in the comments section. And as always, be sure to learn history and curate history. Pulverize the like button. Subscribe if you haven't. Make it a great day.